Quickie.
The NES wasn't exactly known for its sweet and accurate arcade ports, but it certainly tried and usually delivered something pretty fun. Rampage is one of those ports that sits in the gray area. Rampage is an oddly addicting arcade game where you take control of a giant monster and destroy buildings, reliving the classic monster movies like Godzilla and King Kong. There's no real goal except points, and even though there is an end, good luck wanting to play that long or keep wanting to put that many quarters in an arcade machine. As simple as it is fun. It invokes that classic arcade feel. You just want to see how long you go, and those points keep you wanting more. The NES port doesn't change any of this, though it is a little watered down, which can make the repetition a little more obvious. In the NES port, you take control of either Lizzie, the giant lizard, or George, the King Kong-like ape. Missing in the NES port is Ralph, the giant werewolf. Not really sure why they removed him, but really it doesn't matter since none of the characters have different moves or health, and only allows 2 players anyway. In fact, the only difference between George and Lizzie is the music that plays. George has the tune that is probably more commonly associated with Rampage, and Lizzie gets a little more up-tempo tune. Like I said, you need to destroy the buildings, which you do by climbing and punching. You can punch in front of you, behind, up, and down. When you punch the building, you make a hole unless you punch down, which just cracks the building. In the holes, you can come across several items. All food items like cooked turkeys, desserts, and drinks boost your health. But anything that isn't a food item like toilets, bombs, skulls, which probably signifies poison, and toasters that actually electrocute you, cause damage. Money signs sometimes appear in banks, which only adds to your point score. Of course, no game is complete without hazards and enemies. You'll get pelted with bullets and bombs from civilians and military hanging out of windows, as well as helicopters flying over. There is very little you can do to avoid the barrage except climb and try to eat them or smash things. There are also tanks and cop cars which fire at you and can launch you a good ways. You should also eat the demolition guys laying bombs by buildings. The explosion won't hurt you or anything, but you do lose a building to gain points from. You also lose health while being underwater, so avoid trying to swim since, you can't. Even worse are the clouds that shoot lightning. That's Rampage in a nutshell for the NES. 128 levels, or days as they are called, to go through smashing buildings and eating people. Is it the best arcade port? Definitely not. Lack of a character, sounds dulled, and a downgrade in graphics, but it did keep the core gameplay. Though there's actually no way to get a game over unless you choose to. Once your character becomes human, press a button and you transform back. The whole challenge of trying to do this in a few credits is gone, which really kinda kills it. So if you have 5 hours, you can beat it, but it's still good, mindless fun. It is best to set your own goal of only allowing to transform a few times. So is it the best game either? Pales in comparison to the original arcade version, really. But for the $2 to $4 you'll find it for, it is still a decent arcade game to have in your NES collection for some time killing on rainy days. I'll see you next time!